Quite early on in the play Hamlet, the ghost appears. It's the battlements of the castle at Elsinore, and the soldiers are on guard there, and Horatio comes to join them, and Horatio doesn't believe that the ghost will appear at all. He doesn't believe in ghosts. And then, when they're just settling in and he's starting to talk about something else, suddenly the ghost does appear. One of the soldiers says, "Peace, break thee off, look where it comes again." And the other soldier says, "In the same figure, like the king that's dead." This is Hamlet's father, who died some weeks, months before, and who is now haunting them on the battlefield. "Thou art a scholar, Horatio. Speak to it, Horatio. Looks it not like the king? Mark it, Horatio." And Horatio replies, "Most like. It harrows me with fear and wonder." That's a wonderful word, isn't it? Harrows me. A harrow, of course, is an agricultural instrument that churns up the earth. It's also become a word where we talk about a harrowing situation, something which is extremely disturbing. But I think that this is one of the original meanings of it here. So it harrows his soul, his whole emotional body, to see this ghost. And then Horatio, the soldiers say, "Question it, Horatio." And Horatio says, "What art thou that usurps this time of night, together with that fair and warlike form in which the majesty of buried Denmark did sometime march? By heaven I charge thee, speak." But the ghost won't speak to Hamlet. He won't speak to Horatio. He'll only speak to Hamlet, who is brought the next night by the soldiers and Horatio to speak. Now, for people who think that Shakespeare really is incomprehensible and who can't understand it, a speech like this that Horatio makes to the ghost, usurps, well, yes, usurp, take over, it's like a sort of political word, isn't it? For somebody who usurps the king's right or the political power, together with that fair and warlike form in which the majesty of buried Denmark did sometime march. Now, of course, the majesty of buried Denmark is used to mean the king, not just the country, and so the majesty of buried Denmark. So if saying it a few times over, we get the idea. This is the buried king who has now reappeared. This is the majesty which he is seeing. There's a story that the poet John Keats started to read Hamlet and read this scene. I mean, all this is within the first 50 lines of the scene, and was so frightened by taking on board the imaginative concept of meeting this ghost as Horatio. It harrows me with fear and wonder, that the boy Keats ran out into the street to make sure that there were other people there, so that it wouldn't. So that he could recover from this shock of meeting the ghost. I don't suppose any of us can claim to have the sort of imagination that Keats had even as a boy, or perhaps particularly as a boy, managed to keep for his adulthood. If only we could keep that and realize our response to these situations in exactly the same way.